Welcome and thank you for joining us on this beautiful day. This glorious day represents or is a metaphor as to why we all gather here today. A bright future for Perth Amboy. What was once an underutilized, blighted, contaminated brownfield will soon be the home to over 1 million square feet of investment, partnership, increased ratables, 21st century jobs, and growth for our great city. My name is Tasha Lee Vasquez, the Executive Director for the Perth Amboy Redevelopment Agency. On behalf of PARA and our Mayor Helman Kaba, I'd like to welcome you to the historic groundbreaking of the Bridgeport 2 Logistics Center. I'd like to begin by acknowledging a few of our distinguished guests. Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, representing District 19. The Honorable Mayor Helman J. Kaba. County Commissioner Director Ron Rios. Commissioner Charles Kenny. Council President Milady Tejada. Council Member Rose Morales. Council Member Haley Cruz. Board of Education Member Jasmine Melendez. Assistant Commissioner of the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, David Hames. Our partner in this great project, developer Jeff Milanick. Chairman of our redevelopment agency, Joel Rosa. Topology, our planners. Our business administrator, Michael Green. All of our city directors, if you can wave. City staff, and all our partners who have contributed to the growing of our great city. Our program will consist of several guest speakers and will be followed by the ceremonial groundbreaking, site tours, and a light lunch. Before I bring up the Honorable Mayor to share a few words on what the project means to our city, I ask that you join us in saluting the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mayor Helman Kaba.
Thank you, Tashi. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. Over the past 2 years, we have been making our way to moving Perth Amboy forward. Today, I'm glad to say that we are making real progress in our city, bringing more robust economic activity and job creation through the redevelopment agency. I want to thank our redevelopment commissioners, our planning and zoning board members, and our city council for sharing the vision of the future of our city as solid and prosperous. While redevelopment planning is from a 30,000 foot view, we also look at it from what's happening at street level. Lives and livelihoods have been affected in ways that vary from person to person, family to family, business to business, through our services, infrastructure improvement, with our utilities and road repair, beautification efforts, stabilizing our finances, expansion in public safety, personnel and technology, development of our recreation and green space, with the support of our county, state, and federal partners. Reinvestment in our city through our urban enterprise zone and mayor wellness campaign to bring families closer together by promoting physical, mental, and spiritual health as a sustainable value in our beautiful city. Today is another example of how our redevelopment efforts will move us forward in a very big way this year in 2023 as it sets to fuel our local economy with a $2.9 million in taxes and $2.6 million in non-residential development fees for our Affordable Housing Trust Fund. To learn that these areas we are standing right here today was once the American Smelting and Refining Company that closed in 1979, over 100 years, right here with 13 buildings that have been demolished and remediated, 80 years of environmental hazards. That's a big accomplishment. I want to thank everyone that's present for being part of it. This contaminated brownfield site that has been a blighted eyesore for this entrance to our city is now cleaned up with 73 acres for 2 warehouses to be built by 500 union laborers that will employ approximately 1,500 residents with 21st century jobs. In addition, Bridge Industrial is investing the following: $1 million for open space for Rudick Park and upgrades and green space expansion. Creating sidewalk connectivity from their site to the Harbor Town entrance. $500,000 for a fire engine truck. And an additional $500,000 in public health initiatives. I want to thank Jeff Malanick and Bridge Industrial for their continued investment and partnership with our beautiful city. Global Trade magazine noted that since the pandemic, warehousing and logistics centers have hired over several 100,000 people, increased distribution networks, and seen record in business. As new and more warehouses are going up, Middlesex County was noted as part of the top 20 U.S. communities in high demand. Perth Amboy is ideal for what's known as last-minute warehousing logistics because of our strategic location, the Outer Bridge crossing, the major roadways of 440 and 287, and the New Jersey Turnpike, along with the Garden State Parkway. With overwhelming industrial demand and a shortage of viable land, brownfields present an opportunity to create new industrial inventory while giving back to our communities and revitalizing our neighborhoods. We're remaking our city with innovation and opportunity through these public-private partnerships. We are part of Middlesex County's unique story of attracting more companies to help build our economic value. We're affecting change, and our city is taking pride in it. I look forward to sharing more of our progress very soon. Thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Assistant Commissioner from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, David Hames, who has been instrumental in this project and many other projects, redevelopment projects in our beautiful city.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mayor Cava. It's my pleasure to be here. My name is David Hames. I'm the Assistant Commissioner for the Contaminated Site Remediation and Redevelopment Program at the New Jersey DEP. Not the whole DEP, just this one small portion of it. We were formerly called the Site Remediation Program. We've had these brownfield development areas going for a while, and this name change reflects the fact that this has become an important priority, a greater priority within the department to return these blighted properties into productive use. We want to put emphasis there. We recognize that healthy environment is a prerequisite for a healthy economy and for healthy communities. My program's Office of Brownfield and Community Revitalization coordinates and pursues innovative approaches to expedite remediation and redevelopment so these efforts can be coordinated. These projects can move forward efficiently. The goal of the program and the office is to work with municipalities across the state to turn abandoned, underutilized, and contaminated land, also known as brownfields, into productive, clean, safe, and usable spaces. And this project is a great example of that coming out and coming to fruition. The former 68 acre Sarko site is part of this Perth Amboy brownfield development area, and this was designed to target and redevelop abandoned large brownfield sites along the Arthur Kill. The sites in this BDA, as noted, have been abandoned for nearly 50 years, and the properties have sat vacant, underutilized, and contaminated. Perth Amboy and the DEP entered into a memorandum of understanding to partner together regarding the BDA, and a steering committee consisting of stakeholders representing the interests of the city, the DEP, the EPA, developers, and residents was formed to drive this remediation and redevelopment. It was a true partnership. Tony Finley is here with me today from the Office of Brownfield. He's been serving on this Perth Amboy steering committee for 16 years, a good part of his career here at the DEP. He's been providing his technical input, and he's worked closely with the licensed site remediation professionals, or LSRPs, who are overseeing the remediation being conducted on behalf of both the property owners and the developers. So thank you very much, Tony, for all your efforts on this. So the former operations here, a Sarko's metal refining operations, resulted in contamination from arsenic, lead, other heavy metals, and PCBs. Not contamination you necessarily want to have. So, the contamination also impacted the Arthur Kill. So remediation was conducted, and that included removing contaminated soils, transporting them off-site. Certain areas where the contamination just couldn't be removed have been capped, and there won't be exposure to the public or the workers who are here. In addition, a slurry wall system was placed underground, and that's around the majority of the site, and that's to prevent additional groundwater impacts into the Arthur Kill. We're not only concerned with the soils on the property, but what might be leaving the property and getting to the Arthur Kill. So the redevelopment itself, there have been two phases here. The Phase 1 Bridgeport Logistics Center redevelopment, which was Phase 1 on the former NL site, was completed in 2019. Everybody can see those properties over there. And we're happy to report that resulted in 3,000 permanent jobs for residents of Perth Amboy. $10 million in ratables for the city, so an excellent tax base coming in. And retail tenants like Target, Wayfair, and FedEx, folks who are going to stick around for a while. Today's groundbreaking celebrates the mark of completion of the remediation on this Phase 2 and the start of construction of the redevelopment. And we're looking forward to approximately 500 construction jobs, getting those warehouses built. Construction of 2 high-tech logistic warehouses, leading to approximately 1,500 more local jobs, and hopefully additional millions of dollars in tax ratables. A little bit about the brownfield development program at the DEP. It's, again, one of our priorities is seeing more projects like this around the state. Taking blighted and underutilized properties, putting them back into productive use through these partnerships, and you can also leverage funds through our hazardous discharge site remediation fund. Those are public funds that are available typically to municipalities to work on properties, see what's there, and try to get them to a point where a developer is willing to come in or somebody's willing to come in and help with the remediation. This is jointly administered by DEP and the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. And again, it provides financial assistance in the form of grants and loans to conduct environmental remediations. DEP is ready to partner with more local municipalities and their stakeholders to address brownfields. And in fact, we will be reopening the application process for new BDAs across the state. There are currently 29. And we're looking at, I'm going to look to Frank, 5 to 10 more, I believe.
Yep.
And again, these are great projects, partnering with the municipalities. We want to partner with the local leaders, such as Mayor Cava and his team at PARA. I'm looking around for everybody. And again, just expanding this program and helping to revitalize distressed areas and create stronger, fairer, and more resilient New Jersey communities. So in closing, again, reclaiming these land parcels that were previously used by industry or commerce and have been abandoned for years, revitalizing them, turning them back to productive use, improving public safety. This is a major priority for our program. Together we can improve the public health, deliver environmental justice, and create new opportunities for New Jersey residents and businesses. Again, thank you, Tony, for all your hard work on this project. Thank you, Mayor Cava, for your leadership. Joe Hochreiter for running the BDA committee. Thank you for that. Perth Amboy Redevelopment Authority Chairman Joel Rosa and Executive Director Tashi Vasquez and your teams. Thank you for your work. The developer, Jeff Melanik. And I would also like to thank Speaker Coughlin, who is not here, and Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, who is here today. And having said that, thank you all and have a great day. And Assemblywoman, if you could please come up. Thank you all.
Good morning, everyone, and what a beautiful day to have this groundbreaking ceremony here this morning. Today's groundbreaking ceremony is a clear example of the transformation Perth Amboy is undertaking through the leadership and vision of Mayor Helman Cava in partnership with City Council and the Perth Amboy Redevelopment Agency. Thanks to the work of Mayor Cava and his team, a former brownfield site has been revitalized to serve as a job creator, tax revenue generator, and state-of-the-art green facility that will benefit the city's future and local economy. I applaud the project developer, Bridge Industrial, for recognizing Perth Amboy's potential and for working with the city to craft a project that yields substantial benefits for our community. Perth Amboy's renaissance is just beginning, and I look forward to many innovative projects to come. Congratulations to all involved in making Bridgeport 2 a monumental success. And now I would like to introduce Jeff Molanik, Bridge Partner.
Great. Good morning, everybody. This is the easy part of these projects. Coming up and turning some dirt with a shovel. It's funny. I started my real estate career in Middlesex County in the 80s. And I actually remember looking at these sites, both of them together, in the mid-1990s. And I don't know who's been around, remember what that looked like at that time? These were ugly. I don't know what else to call them, right? They were a mess. Yet at the time, recognizing the location was great, but the expense of trying to remediate the projects and the cost, it wasn't there. And we tried. I tried so many times, I just couldn't get there on the price to acquire the site and make them go. And when I opened up the offices for Bridge in 2014, at the end, our mission is really to redevelop older industrial sites that have challenges, and by that I mean geotech, because we're near the water, environmental, and that type of stuff, and try to find well-located highway networks, because we don't want to build warehouses in the middle of towns or suburban areas. We want to build really right here because we see an opportunity to create value. So I was introduced to phase one in 2015, and met with the then administration, and power and everything was beginning to come together at the time, and I immediately recognized that Perth Amboy had the vision. They understood what was at stake for the city, and they understood that they needed to take some positive actions to reclaim these old industrial sites. And one of the first questions asked of me, I remember, was, so what makes you different than the other 8 guys that failed? And that was the biggest challenge I had, to explain who I was, the experience I had, who we at Bridge were, and that this was our focus, and hated to say it, but use the words, you have to trust me on this. We really do know what we're doing. And that was what the beginning of that first phase where we acquired the property. We built the buildings, and the first tenant on site was Target. And I remember very well when they came in to meet with the mayor, they said, could we use your civic center for a job fair? We're looking to hire about 100 people. 650 people lined up outside the door that day for the job. It was astounding. And I realized that, yeah, we may be at the bridge of the development business. We're actually in the business of changing communities. And to me, I've been in this business a long time. That speaks to the core of our mission. So while that was going on, I kept looking over at this site, and thanks to Doug and Linda, who convinced me I should spend too much money buying this site. If you remember, this was a sea of shipping containers also. There were hundreds of thousands stacked 6 foot high. You couldn't even see the ground. So there was one complex challenge after another on this site. And we actually started negotiating on this site in 2017. That's how long it took. But we were excited to again work with the town, work with the mayor, because the vision was crystallizing, things were happening. We liked the road network. The labor story here was fabulous. There was also a great story with the hurricane with Puerto Rico. Target stepped up and opened up the doors. I mean, so many good things were happening here. But none of this happens by accident. You know, this takes a lot of interagency coordination, as you've heard. You know, we have the city, power, all the professionals, our construction teams. We're standing here today and somebody said, oh, the buildings are going to be up in a year. Has anybody looked at the last 18 months? What's been going on over here? It takes a while to get these sites remediated at a cost of about $30 million to clean up the site. Right? But we believe in what we do, we know what we do, and our professionals help us get there. We couldn't have gotten here at all if it wasn't for the Office of Brownfield Development. So, Assistant Commissioner and Tony. Between you and Joe Hochreiter, Tony, you are the only environmental guys on my speed dial. So, you know, but I'm proud to say that because a lot of what we encountered was uncharted territory, but we worked together to figure out how to get around it. I'd also like to thank my partners at Bridge. You know, we're a Chicago-based company, but every state and city we operate in, we have local homegrown partners. Like it or not, full-blown Jersey-raised guys. Haven't left, never will. But we understand what makes Jersey tick, and we also understand and we appreciate all the public officials and their support because it truly takes a lot more than a village to pull a project like this off. I'd be remiss also if I didn't thank our capital partner, the Teachers Retirement System of Texas. You know, we're standing on the footprint of what will be a $500 million project. That is a huge capital commitment. And I want to thank you for that. Also, my bridge team local, my construction team, development team, guys raise your hand, marketing team. I often tease them, I said, you guys have the easy job, you just have to build the building. But they do one heck of a job on this type of stuff. So we're excited to be here once again. We really look forward to working with the town. Want to continue our relationship for more years to come. And we may have some things to talk about here, you never know. But at this point, another thing I'd like to commend Perth Amboy on is the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, that she was very instrumental in setting up within the community. The reason that's important is part of our fees as developers we pay to an affordable housing fund. It's required by the state. We've built I've built about 20 million feet in the past 6 years throughout northern New Jersey. We write these checks a lot. Nothing against Trenton. It goes to Trenton. We never know what happens with the money. But through the vision of Perth Amboy, they've set up a fund where this money stays in the city. And we had a great conversation with it yesterday. So on behalf, there's a large check So we made a large check. So I'd like to present the ceremonial check for $2.6 million.
Thank you.
I wouldn't run it.
ATM big enough?
I was gonna say, don't try to run that to the bank today. That's the only thing I would say. But we want to thank you here. It truly is a celebration. We'll have tours, different things, and food provided. I just can't tell you how excited we are, part of such a vibrant community. Working with all the town officials have been terrific throughout it, so I thank you very much for that. And on that, I would like to introduce the head of Para, Chairman Joel Rosa.
Wow. The moment is finally here, everyone. Feels like it's been years in the making and we'll never see this day, but dear distinguished guests, it is with great pleasure that I stand before you today to make for this momentous occasion in the redevelopment of Perth Amboy. Today we break ground on Bridgeport 2, a high-capacity storage and distribution center that will transform a once contaminated brownfield into a hub of economic activity and job creation for the city. I feel like this has been said over and over, but let me remind everyone how great this is. As the chairman of the Perth Amboy Redevelopment Agency, I am proud of the tireless efforts of our team in bringing the project to fruition. I commend our partners, Jeff Malanick with Bridge Industrial, and state and local officials, NJDEP, David Haynes, our friend Frank McLaughlin. We also going to be working with Tony. I know that BDA had a lot to do with this also, David Haynes, so we're going to continue to work with you. Bridgeport 2 is a testament to the power of public-private partnerships in driving sustainable growth in our community. The project will generate significant tax revenues for our city and create hundreds of immediate construction jobs. Additionally, the commitment to green infrastructure, such as the installation of solar panels and the construction of rain gardens, underscores our shared responsibility to the environment and the health of our residents. This project would not have been possible without the support and vision of our mayor, Helman J. Kaba, our city council. We have our council president and members of the council here, and the members of the Perth Amboy Redevelopment Agency. I extend my deepest gratitude to them for their unwavering dedication to our city's revitalization. As we break ground today, we also look ahead to the completion of Bridgeport 2 in the second quarter of next year. Knock on wood. I am confident that this development will serve as a shining example of major brownfield redevelopment, one that will inspire other cities to emulate to success. Thank you to all those who have contributed to this remarkable achievement, and let us look forward to a bright future for Perth Amboy. Thank you.
We will now proceed to the ceremonial groundbreaking.
Yep, hands rolling. Okay, another one, please.